One sleepless night, after staying up late reading Tianwen, I opened the Proxy group chat. Eager to make some extra money, I impulsively decided to take on a big job without much thought. The next day, during a class, the teacher began calling roll. When my turn came, I raised my hand confidently. The teacher, with a slight smile, remarked that he thought the student was a girl. I quickly explained that I was her boyfriend attending class to take notes for her because she was ill. The teacher nodded understandingly and said, "I see." But then he added, "Stay after class. I'd like you to come home with me to meet your girlfriend," which caught me off guard. With a light course load and free time on my hands, I often took proxy jobs through the group chat to cover my living expenses. That day, someone posted about needing a substitute for 3 afternoon classes. I jumped at the opportunity, claiming the job immediately. After confirming the student's name, Liu Ruion, the course details, and any specific instructions, I arrived early at the classroom, ready to blend in. I had heard the teacher for this class was a kind woman who rarely called roll, which put me at ease. As long as the roll call went smoothly, I figured I'd be fine. Settling in, I pulled out my English homework to pass the time. But when the class bell rang, a male teacher walked in, set his books down, and began setting up his laptop. Confused, I double-checked the course details, time, and classroom were correct. Leaning toward the classmate beside me, I whispered, "I thought this was taught by a female teacher. Why is there a male teacher today?" The classmate, equally puzzled, glanced at the teacher and said, "It's always been a female teacher. Maybe it's a last-minute change." The group didn't mention anything. The teacher opened his slides and announced, "Teacher Zhang has personal matters today, so I'm covering her class." Then he pulled out a roll sheet and said, "Let's start with roll call." My heart sank. The information I had was wrong, and now he was checking attendance. I glanced at the name again, Liu Ruion. When he called her name, I raised my hand confidently. Since this teacher had never taught the class before, I was certain he wouldn't know Liu Ruion. I had initially worried he might recognize her and suspect I was a proxy. But now I felt reassured. However, the teacher frowned, looked at me, then at the roll sheet, and said I thought Liu Ruion was a girl. Panicking, I turned to the boy next to me for help. He whispered, "Is Liu Ruion a girl?" The boy nodded and said, "Yeah, she's the captain of our academy's tennis team. A lot of people know her." My stomach dropped. Thinking fast, I put on a sad expression and said, "Teacher, I'm her boyfriend. She's sick and didn't want to miss class, so she asked me to take notes for her." The teacher smiled, nodded, and said, "I see. Got it." I was quietly congratulating myself on my quick thinking when the teacher added, "Don't leave after class. I have something to discuss with you." His words sent a wave of anxiety through me, and I spent the entire class on edge. During a break, I checked the school's website for the teacher's profile and searched online for more information. What I found was alarming. Everyone described him as notoriously strict, with zero tolerance for skipping classes or proxy attendance. In a panic, I messaged Liu Ruion, "You're in trouble." She replied almost instantly. "Caught," I responded. "Probably." And they switched to a really strict male teacher instead of the female one. There was a long pause. Her chat showed typing for what felt like forever. Finally, she sent 4 words. "No big deal." Her calm response reassured me, and I decided to let go of my worries for the time being. During the break, I turned to the classmate next to me to ask about Liu Ruion. As her supposed boyfriend, I couldn't know nothing about her. After some discreet inquiries, I learned that her life was surprisingly simple, almost pitifully so. She was the captain of her academy's tennis team and loved playing tennis. Beyond that, no one seemed to know much else. She rarely skipped classes, but this time I heard she had a match with another academy that clashed with the course. To prioritize the match, she couldn't attend class. Finally, after enduring 3 long classes, the teacher looked at me and said, "Liu Ruion's boyfriend, come with me." I obediently followed him to his office, my nerves on edge. He offered me a stool and said casually, "No need to be nervous. Have a seat." I didn't dare sit quickly, declining the offer. He asked my name, which academy I was from, what year I was in, and my hobbies. I answered Lin Feng, Foreign Language Academy, sophomore.